Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. My name is Doug Brunke. I am the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. It's Friday, July 25th. This is League of Extraordinaries, one of our signature events, the purpose of which is for members only, members to connect up with other members. The word extraordinaries dates back to a member, Joe Bockersteady, who I've known for probably 15 years. He's been a member for 10. He's still a member. He's on our advisory board for Phoenix. And his extraordinariness got us or me inspired to name this event as League of Extraordinaries. You're all doing extraordinary work. It's one thing to do local work. It's another thing completely to do work across regions, across cultures, across borders. It's harder. It's harder to sustain over a longer period of time. You need to be extraordinary, and that's what this conversation is all about. Connecting our members across borders, across markets, across members to be more successful. It is a networking event. And so, Tamer, thank you for the pre-recording conversation to segue into this. I don't like the word networking, and the reason is I'm reasonably good at networking, but I know most people are not. And Tamer, to your point earlier, almost none of us have time to do it. We want the benefits of it, but we don't really necessarily want to invest the time because we have work to do. So the concept of networking to me has always been from the very beginning of Global Chamber, not what I wanted to have happen. I wanted us to focus in on connecting. So that concept of instead of throwing you into a haystack to find a needle, your client, that part I don't want to force you members to do. I want members to tell us what the needle is and us to connect you to the needle. This meeting is a little bit of a mix because you've got members in this room and the goal is to tell them what needle you want. Who is the person that you want to meet? What is that thing that you're reaching out to? Focus your conversation today on that. And then, of course, share any other additional information. But hopefully, through that, you may not meet the right person directly today, but hopefully, all of us together will know some folks and feel free to help each other, connect up with each other, and connect others to the needle that they are looking for. So, Basil, I'd like to start with you because you happen to be an expert on networking, on the process of networking. And so it's not that I'm against it. We have to all do it. It's just that I do like to focus in on the concept of strategic connecting. That's what we do at Global Chamber. We understand what each member, who they want to meet, and then we work diligently to connect them. We have some new systems coming into place right now. We've been working for about 2 months on it. We have about 2 more weeks to go, and we're doing a relaunch of Global Chamber August 4th week. And I would expect, based on what I've heard this week, is that we'll be in a good position to do that. We want to expand our capabilities and the process of networking within Global Chamber. And we definitely, number one priority, connect members to more clients and strategically connect them. Well, how do you feel about networking, Basil? And then could you let us know more about who you would like to meet and kick things off for us today?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Actually, you'll be amazed, Doug, but I totally, completely agree with you in that I don't like the word networking.
But we got to do it, don't we?
Yes. If I was to describe it along the line you're thinking, I would say I would call it how to get along with your fellow man. I think that would be a better description of it. But you are correct. In our research, we discovered that when you have said networking, you have said in that same breath, when you say society, you have said in that same breath networking. what is the basic definition of society? It is human beings and their relationships. All right, that's the basic definition of society. So then, when people start engaging with one another, what happens is that the basic laws of networking go in play. That one realize that or not. Much like the gravity law, I may or may not know it, but if I ever throw this pen up, it's going to come down. So that's what we discover. So then when we're talking about networking, we're just really about how, which you're saying, Doug, is get along with your fellow man. It's not so much a sell or whatever. And that's what we discover, and that's what we have been working on for years, for several years. Take a company. The fundamental rules of networking is being interested. I was giving a class yesterday, and I told them, if an executive was interested in a receptionist, they will create a dramatic relationship, and the receptionist's willingness to work will increase dramatically. In companies, they talk about culture, the communication, which is good, but it all sits on that fundamental, which is being interested. That is the cardinal rules of networking. Once you understand that, you don't need to think about networking anymore. You're just interacting with the people, and it all goes that much easily. So what we do, in fact, coming up to us much more right now are HRs, because they understand what we're doing, because they want to create that what is called culture and communication, but much easily it become a mechanical action. But if interest is put in place, they get along easily, and you have staff members who are more willing to do the work, to be there and do the work. The other aspect we help people with naturally is business development. We say, how do you drive a car? Ignition key number 1, gear shifting number 2, pedal to the metal number 3. In that order, all the time, every time. Our research in the last 20 years was, what is the 1, 2, 3 then to get clients, or the 1, 2, 3 to improve relationships? And that's what we discover. It is 1, networking, 2, promotion, and 3, sales. In that order all the time. The key to networking is the purpose of networking is to create acceptance, is not to promote yourself, much less sell your product. It is to create acceptance. And the best way to do it, as far as we know, is to show a sincere interest into that person. Once you do, they want to know what you do. Now you tell them what you do. Now they may buy your service or not after that, or if not, because you have created acceptance, they don't mind introducing you to people who could use your service. So that's what I want to share with you today.
Brilliant. I love that. I'm going to use that every day for the rest of my life. I love that. You are very smart. So what would you,
Thank you.
what would you like to share, and really who would you like to meet?
I would like to meet people who would like to improve their business development, because we have the know-how to share that with them, or people who just want to enhance the culture of their company. Let me add that our program has been accredited by George Mason University. So we're teaching in universities now, but also professionals can take it and have it count as continuing education credits. So it's really who want to improve, get more clients, we can make it easier for them, or who like to enhance the culture of their companies.
So would it be organizations like George Mason, or other organizations open, and what would that look like?
What people that are coming off the most are people who live off of commissions,
Okay.
mortgage, realtors, CPAs, because for them, networking or getting along with people is fundamental. We like to call them as a joke, they eat what they kill. If they sell, they are okay. If they don't, they are in trouble. This seems to come most to us. But really, as I mentioned, this can benefit any company. It comes down, that's a good question, Doc. It comes down to the awareness of people who thinks that he could benefit from networking or who thinks that he could enhance his networking skills. That's really what it comes down to.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Thank
Does
you, sir.
anybody does have any questions for Basil? He's based in the Washington D.C. area, I believe,
Yes,
right,
sir.
or Virginia, or right nearby there.
Yes, sir.
Any questions or thoughts? Anyone you know that would be interested in what he's got? It is Friday afternoon, but feel free to jump in. And
I'm going to put my information in the chat here. If you something come to mind afterward, just let me know.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
Just looking through the group here, I think all of you eat what you kill. I think as entrepreneurs and as some of you are directly in sales, somebody like uh, John Brown. Is that John Brown here in LA? Is that you?
Yes, it is. How are you, Doug?
Hey,
Good.
doing well. Eat what you kill. Can you relate to that?
I got on a little late, but overall, yeah, I mean, I think the concept of getting to know people first and getting a personal relationship with them and understanding them has always been the key to, getting a door open. If you think about today, technology and how we are so inundated with text, phone calls, unwanted phone calls, it's really hard to make a connection today because everybody's on the defense,
Yeah.
and so when you get an opportunity to kind of have a one-to-one or a face-to-face, human nature says, I'm more attracted to people that have an interest in me than the ones that are trying to just continue to promote themselves. So I think the concept has been spot on because I've used it myself for most of my career.
Fantastic.
Very good. Hmm.
Congratulations. So thank you, Basil, and thank you for putting
Thank
your
you.
information in the chat area. John, why don't you go next? You are an
Oh,
expert on logistics, and who would you like to meet, and what else would you like to share?
boy, I don't really know right. Like I said, I came on a little late. First of all, I'm at towards the end of a long career. We primary freight. We started 27 years ago as a family-run logistics company, and we've been very fortunate throughout our career. We've been recognized as one of the best family-run businesses in Orange County for the last 7 years. 2 years ago, we made a decision to practice what we preach, and we became a partial ESOP, and where our whole organization now are a shareholder because we wanted to give back to the people that have been so dedicated to us over the years. We have over 60 people that work for us, and over 40% have worked here between 10 and 27 years. So we've built a great culture. We're trying to give back. And, my goal now is to continue to see what the future will bring for this organization. Uh, for a company that's been around as long as we have, we're still finding innovation and new ways of doing our to making our customers happy, to becoming more automated. AI has definitely started to penetrate the logistics field. We're just really in the beginning of trying to understand that. I still feel it's so important to have personal relationships, personal contact, rather than having a computer answer you. And I guess I'm kind of an old school guy, but that personal touch. If I had to start our business today, I don't know if I would be successful because uh, I have my whole life has been based on personal relationships, building trust, and getting people to understand the importance of that. And so, as I look forward to the future, technology is definitely going to be the driving force of a lot of businesses today. But my goal is to continue to build a culture where people are respectful, where people have the ability to continue to learn and feel like they're part of something. Because I think that's another thing that's been lacking is that feeling a part of.
Mm.
And I've worked really hard to make sure that in our organization, people feel that. So that's my on the spot quick chat there, Doug. So thanks for calling on me.
Brilliant. Each of our first two speakers have left us with some significant things to think about. Feeling a part of and building a community is so critical to us, and it's great to hear you say the same thing. Anybody that is interested in doing logistics better certainly is going to be someone that John and your team are going to be interested in. You're based in Southern California, but you work all across the United States, certainly, right? Your clients are based in the States, or are they?
Yeah, but we have offices in Atlanta, New Jersey, and Chicago. We have warehouse facilities in 3 of those locations today. And
Great.
but yeah, we're a domestic and international logistics company, and our client base is international. It's not just in the United States. We do a lot of business in China. We do a lot of business in India, Vietnam, Italy, the UK. So yeah, we've expanded our reach quite nicely over the last 27 years.
So you're all in the League of Extraordinaries at Global Chamber. All the people here in this room are members of Global Chamber. And so you always need to vet people, but generally we're always vetting every member. And if any member would indicate anything that wouldn't allow us to recommend them, we take some action. It rarely happens, but it does happen. All of you are trusted, and we should all be always doing our vetting. John has been in, I think it's over 40 years, right? How long have you been involved?
Since 1978, which just makes me really old. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Amazing. Yeah, you and Bill Edwards in the Southern California, he's been in 50 years. So you're almost up there. That's amazing.
Getting close.
Yeah.
But still young at heart.
And undoubtedly, yeah. Despite being a Yankee fan, it's tough days these days. Oh my God!
We'll
So I
talk about that off record there. Yeah.
don't you must know Elizabeth Glenn. Elizabeth is fresh off a really amazing event we had yesterday for manufacturers and exporters. And Elizabeth, you and Anita Rodell and some other members within the chapter in Southern California put all that together. That was such a high that so many people attended. There was so much great information. Are you able to speak right now and let us know who you would like to meet?
Sure. Thank you, Doug. And yes, we did a Globinar this week on and brought in John, you may know Vince Iacopella regarding the tariffs. He's with Alba Wheels Up. But it was very informative, and it was interesting because even as he was talking to us, things are changing. So there was some news breaking with Japan. And one comment I did want to support John with, I had attended a meeting in a World Trade Week meeting in May, and one of the business owners of a well-known manufacturer, he had shared his perspective with tariffs, the value and the importance of relationships in general. And he said, especially with China, he has a lot of relationships. He had no worries that he would lose those because of those relationships. So from a business perspective, that's really powerful, I found. And then I work with manufacturers, business owners, and my focus is to get them to enhance their export processes so that it aligns with business operations so they can maximize the global opportunities that they get introduced to. So it's a pleasure to be here, and thank you.
You won't find anybody more passionate than Elizabeth for manufacturers to get off their duff and start to export. She's an encourager in a polite and professional way, and very passionate about it. So thank you, Elizabeth. It wouldn't mean as much if she wasn't capable. She's very capable. She knows all the details of how to export and how to get manufacturers to be successful. It's not easy.
Mm-mm.
And so, but you know all the details of how to get them there. And thank you for your leadership. Really appreciate it.
And if I may, I'll just share. I've been involved with Baja, connecting some of our manufacturers with the Baja industrial sector because there's a lot of opportunity. And I just learned I now have four companies that have gone and participated are actually, they're moving forward with doing business in the Baja area. And for us, that's great because it's 3.5 hours away. We're lucky to be on the border of a major global market.
We are starting a Baja chapter as well. So I did meet the fellow who's taking over a month or two ago. And so we're getting all the kind of the ducks in a row there. So definitely want to get you connected to him. And then there's some other members down there as well that I'm not sure we've connected you with. So I know you've done some work there. So then we've got some next steps there. So thank you for your leadership.
Thank you.
Let's go up north. Nick Olson. Nick, you are based in Wisconsin, but you're working internationally. A little bit of a shift in the conversation here. You're looking for somebody a little bit different than what we've talked about before. First of all, any comments on what you've heard so far? Any other revelations you'd like to share? Since I think we've had already a couple of them. And then who would you like to meet?
Yeah, no, this conversation's been great, and it's always interesting to hear perspectives on networking and collaborate. Collaboration is something that we hear, and I'll get into what we do in a second, but collaboration is one of the main things that we believe takes the firms that we work with to the next level. And so like you said, Doug, yeah, I work internationally. I work for an organization called Cornerstone International Alliance. We are a group of 31 and growing lower middle market mergers and acquisitions firms, boutique investment banks, essentially helping business owners looking to exit their businesses or grow through acquisition. We'll also do valuations where we'll help business owners understand the values of their companies. And we're currently on 4 continents, North America, South America, and Brazil, Europe, and kind of the Asia Pacific area. But we're looking to grow our footprint into Mexico and more in Europe and Australia and different areas of the world. And so we work with business owners who typically are, and this is in US dollars, 5 to 150 million in enterprise value, or 5 in revenue, I should say. And we want to get to them early. We want to get to them, two-ish years outside of an exit. There's a lot of opportunities with baby boomers coming across, looking to sell their companies. But yeah, our group, talk about collaboration. We get together like this on a regular basis as well. And it's just a great way to kind of hone in on your craft, become an expert in your industry and better serve your clients. And we're always of the abundance mindset that you're stronger together than we are individually. So it's a very collaborative group, and we just look to serve the small to medium sized business owner. We're all across the globe.
Fantastic. There are particular firms that you would like to meet in certain countries. Do you want to just quickly run through some of those?
Yeah, if you guys know of any quality M&A firms that you've worked with or heard of, or even business owners looking to exit, I can be a resource for you as well to connect them with potential advisors who can help manage that process for them. Because we always say if you go at it alone, you're at a big disadvantage because, private equity firms, they're serial buyers and they're professionals at it, and they do this. And business owners are typically first-time sellers. So, we always equate it to someone brand new to golf going up against the club pro at the club pro's course. Like, who's going to win that match? The club pro every day. So, we help business owners sell their companies for a living. And so we kind of level that playing field. And so I can connect your clients or people you work with someone who can help manage that process. But yeah, like I said, Mexico, South America, Europe, being Spain, Portugal, Germany, Denmark, Italy, those kinds of places. And then, like I said, Australia, India, kind of that Pacific, Asia area as well. So
Very cool. I think that's Cesar Trebunco in here, and so we have that list, and I think we've started some of those, but haven't completed those. So we'll definitely get those. And if anybody else has any other ideas of people in those areas, then please feel free to connect up with Nick. And if you just, as he offered, it's an amazing offer, and I love that analogy. Great analogy about the Club Pro. Thank you. You also left us with something to think about, the stronger together idea. It's a little bit of kind of the wanting to feel a part of a community. That's good. And then beyond that, to take it to the next level, how do we work together as a community to be stronger together? So thank you for adding that thread to the conversation. If anybody has any questions for Nick, feel free to interject at any time. And otherwise, Nick, please feel free to put your information in the chat. And thank you for jumping in today. Appreciate it. Let's keep going around the room. Franz Moivissen.
Someone have a question, Doug.
Oh, yes. Is that Basil?
No, Eduardo has raised hand.
Oh, Eduardo Gonzalez. Oh, hey, Eduardo, how are you? We were just talking about Baja a minute ago.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to intervene a little bit. Hi, everyone. Eduardo Gonzalez here. Happy to be here, and I just wanted to make myself available. I have a consulting firm here in Phoenix. It's called 258 Consulting, and what we do is we help companies locate contract manufacturing options on the Mexican side, but we also help on the business development. So love to talk to Elizabeth and to Nick and to anyone that is looking for any type of connections on the Mexican side. I grew up in Baja. I was the state director for ProMexico there. And currently we're working all over Mexico, but love to help. And of course, my involvement in Global Chamber also is a new one, and also helping Doug grow the chapters in Mexico. As Doug mentioned, we're very close to open the Baja chapter, and we recently opened also the Mexico City one. So love to connect with anyone. I will put my information in the chat. Thank you, Doug.
There's at least a couple more events today. One is on global law that starts in about 2 hours, or 1 hour, I guess, from now. And then there's another one in 3.5 hours, the Global Chamber Phoenix virtual monthly conversation. And I'm sure we'll see Eduardo there and others that are working in the Southwestern US. But let's get back to Franz. Are you there? Are you available to explain more about who you're looking? And now I don't see your name anymore. Oh, there you go. Okay. You're bumped up because you're unmuted. There you go. I was looking alphabetically and that rule was lost. You do a lot of work with trade. Anything that you'd like to add to the conversation we've been doing, kind of the ongoing one around networking globally? And then who would you like to meet?
Yeah, it is, actually, I'm actually really very much of the mindset of Eduardo. I'm not necessarily particularly looking for anybody. Just here to help others with networking. I'm a business development consultant. I have a small boutique business development consulting firm. We focus primarily on companies coming into the US or from the US into Europe and then Northern Europe. So there's quite a specific region. I'm Dutch of origin, but lived in the US for the larger part of my life. I'm hybrid, and so is the company. We focus particularly on technology, anything from AI to cybersecurity to ag tech, deep tech, ed tech, any type of tech that is that needs to be marketed. We help companies with positioning it, finding out the corner customers, networking, developing a go-to-market strategy, fine-tuning the proposition, and then indeed building out a pipeline. But indeed, I'm here to help others, not necessarily particularly looking for clients, always open to that. However, to really see this as an opportunity to just help other people connect with others.
Yeah, where are you based, Franz?
Oh, good question. Washington, D.C. The other side of my company is in Northern California, in the Bay Area, and then we also have a presence in Rotterdam, the Netherlands.
I don't think I knew about the Bay Area. That's interesting. What city is the office, or do you have?
That is going to be that is San Jose.
San Jose. Okay, very cool. Great. And is your last name pronounced Moivissen?
Well, so I listen to anything, but I pronounce it myself Meeuwissen. But even in the Netherlands, there's a dispute about that. So
okay,
I listen to anything.
Okay, very cool. Thank you for adding to the contribute to the conversation today.
Okay.
Really appreciate it. Let's keep going around the room. I saw Ruby Golo here. Ruby, how are you? Ruby is, when you talk about some of the members who've been around for Global Chamber for a while, Eduardo, who introduced himself, is amazing. There's nobody that knows more manufacturers on both sides of the border than Eduardo. Ruby knows Ghana deeply. Everything related to trade, Ruby knows, and she's also connected across Africa as well. Trade in and out, and she's an expert on it. And so, Ruby, who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Thank you, Doug, for such a nice introduction. Hello, everyone. So I am your go-to person when it comes to Ghana, and so I'll be happy to support anyone that has appetite to bring products or services into Ghana, or looking to do any kind of project, or you do have a product, you're looking to find a reliable partner, distributor, agent. I basically can tailor our services to meet your needs. We cover all sectors, and we have clientele all over the world, just as our name, the company name, Global Trade Consult. So we are global and open to support anybody interested in our market. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you. Ruby is definitely someone you should have in your contact list, as all of the folks here should be. Let's keep going around. Daniel Grad is a new member of Global Chamber. He's got aspirations to not only sell in the U.S., but move to the U.S. as well. Daniel, who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Correct. Hello, everyone. Thank you, Doug, for the introduction. I've heard today many interesting introductions, but as somebody who grew out of engineering, I'm not sure if I'm a good enough talker, but I hope I'll keep up. So in general, we're looking for developing and logistics companies. So I'll definitely reach out to you, John. In general, we help companies to gain clarity over their processes, boost their performance, and mitigate cost areas with custom software solutions. That includes AI agents. So if you'd like to learn more about AI in general, or agents per se, I could definitely help you out with that. And a significant part of our customers and our experience in general comes from logistics and transport. Hence, I'm mentioning as one of our core business areas. And however, we're open to cooperation with all the industries. Yeah, so if you're looking for a software guy or would like to learn more about technology, I'm your guy. And what I'm looking for is to connect with developing or logistics companies.
Where are you based, and what are you thinking about in terms of where you might be in the future?
So currently I'm located in Lodz in Poland, and it's very center of Poland, and Poland is in the center of Europe. And well, I plan to expand my business to states. I'm not sure how the world is going to develop in certain areas, but I think that US definitely bets on the right horse by focusing on the industry and the business itself. So this is why I would like not only to participate in that endeavor, but also contribute to it by providing my expertise in IT, and to hopefully build something bigger. So yeah, as you've already mentioned, I plan to move to States. Actually, as a matter of fact, I plan to pay a visit in Las Vegas in about 2 months. And then I also would like to spend a week or so in the Bay Area as well. So if anybody would like to meet in person, I'll gladly schedule a coffee or a lunch with you.
Fantastic. I don't see anyone from Vegas here, but there are some folks from the Bay Area. And we also were doing a trade mission from India at that time to both Vegas and to the Bay Area. So let's stay in touch on that. On the logistics side, there's a number of people here in this room that have expertise and knowledge and connections there. So all of you that, like even Eduardo, his connections to manufacturing, or Elizabeth, deep connections to those communities, and so including, of course, John, as you identified. So John Williams, I think too. Is that you, John Williams, of Phoenix-based John Williams? Are you available to say hi?
It is me. Rare personal appearance. I'm sorry to be absent so long, Doug.
No worries. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate it. Do you have anything to share on who you'd like to meet, or continue to add to the contribution of what we've been speaking about today?
Well, I'm actually going to turn the table back on the group here, because I actually came in with a question that I've been struggling with recently. As you know, I had a long and fairly successful career as an aviation executive. And now that I'm not, I'm an individual consultant now. I run a small consulting company specializing in industrial strategy. But I'm really struggling with making meaningful connections with people that last. And I find that I'm struggling particularly with this whole concept of ghosting. I wonder if anybody else struggles with this like I do, because I've had people who I've invested time and effort, energy in, and all of a sudden they will just disappear off the map. I know it's an awkward conversation, and one that maybe is best kept for another time, but how do you guys deal with this? Does anybody else struggle with it? Is it just me? Am I just an abrasive person? You know? So
Yeah.
I'll turn it back over to you, Doug. Maybe you can help moderate a brief discussion on that.
Yeah, it is actually a topic that we are going to be discussing more and more. Not the ghosting part, although that's part of it, is how to connect, how to be a better community, how to be a supporter, how to work through the ups and downs. I think, Basil, you talked about this topic indirectly when you talked about when you meet people, creating acceptance and then work with the ones with sincere interest. And what I take from that is how I've dealt with ghosting is, okay, people have various skill sets, and some of them may not be very interpersonal. I don't understand ghosting either, but people have dysfunctions worse than that, including serial killers and things like that. We can't do anything about that, and I'm not sure we can do anything about ghosting, but we can connect up with people who we can connect with that have sincere interest. And so, Basil, I really hooked on to what you said there about sincere interest and focusing in on that. How do you handle ghosting? You're the expert on networking.
Well, you hit it on the nail. In fact, I was about to say, John, I'd love to talk to you. I put my information in the chat if you want to reach out to me. But it's really it. And the interest is really, quote unquote, the hook. once the interest is there, and then the connection is made. And that's what makes it lasting. Because in the process that I mentioned, we say we have interest. The difference in our materials that interest goes all the way around from the beginning all the way. Like I tell you, somebody's very interested in people, and that is Doug. Doug and I talked about a year ago, but guess what? Now I just joined the chamber. There's always that sincere interest in Doug. I mean, all the people that I met, he's the best at it. I may or may not join the chamber, but I know there is somebody over there at the chamber who's interested in me. And I'll come sooner or later. But to your point, really, is the interest. And that's what I say, is sit on the interest. If you have that, you don't have to worry. They may or may not go, no problem. You'll feel fine about it. That's just my take on it. But I'd love to talk to you later on.
Yeah, sounds great. Thank you. I appreciate being all of you, being taken off guard completely by my question. So appreciate that very much.
Well, that's what the chamber is all about, right?
Doug, you are the busiest person I know, and you proactively send me emails. You're certainly not one of those people, you know?
Yeah. Well, I learned from Khalid Munir. So Khalid just joined the room, and I don't know whether you have a moment to say hi, but Khalid is our executive director in Central Florida, and he is so well connected. If you ever get an email from Khalid, there's like this long list of affiliations that he's involved with because he's so personable and he gives back so much, and that's his spirit. Khalid, thank you for all that you do. Anything we can do to help you?
Well, thank you for those kind words, Doug, and following up with some great remarks. I think the greatest asset that this.
Yes, can you hear me?
Oh,
can you hear me?
Hold on.
I'm good. I'm good.
We got to mute you. I got him. Go ahead, Khalid. Sorry about that.
Okay. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I think the greatest asset that I see in our chamber, Doug, is the fact that if we need anything anywhere in the world, in any particular field, we know where to go. With one phone call, you can connect us with the right people in the right places, in the right geographical locations, etc. And I see a great future for the Orlando chapter. You're going to see. I was at an event last night, and I had a couple of people. They're interested in joining the chamber. So our numbers are going to keep. It's going to be a geometric progression from here on in terms of the numbers of members we're going to be recruiting in Central Florida, and the people are beginning to see the value of it. So I look forward to connecting with a lot of you. And if anywhere ever here in Orlando, do please look me up. In the last two meetings we've had, Doug, we've had one member of the chamber who lives in, I think, was it Trinidad or Bahamas? He was visiting, so he came and attended. Another member was from North Carolina. They happened to be visiting Orlando, and we happened to have a meeting the same day, and they came and visited. So I think I can see Orlando being a major hub. It's already very popular because of Disney and Universal, etc. But as a business center, it is really growing in leaps and bounds.
And thank you. Thanks for all that you do. Part of that growth undoubtedly is due to Tamer Flores. Tamer, you're in that area. You've also got deep connections in Peru, as you were talking about before we started the recording. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help you? You're a business scaling expert, and that's something that's so important these days.
Thanks, Doug. Thanks, Khalid. As you know, my name is Tamer Flores, and I mainly do two things. One is strategy planning and execution for international expansion of my clients. And that's not only export-import, but it's actually when they want to really open their products and services, open offices for selling products and services in a new country. And the other thing I do is I am developing an AI for matching investors with startups, and that's going really great. and I'm improving on the engaging part, but everything is working really good. Now, as I told Doug before, he just mentioned, I think I'm going to be focusing on Peru since I'm Peruvian, and I know a lot about the politics and about the environment and about the business, and it is the interest in Peru is increasing from the U.S. China has invested billions of dollars in a new port that just opened in Shanghai, and the U.S. is investing, well, is thinking about investing some billions of dollars in a competitor port. And then there's also the talks about the spaceports and all that. So basically, I would like to become the Peru guy for the Global Chamber. If you need anything to do with Peru, any kind of business, contact me and I will make it happen.
You're amazing. Thank you. Thank you very much. We definitely are very interested in that. Nihi Sanusi is in the room from Lagos, Nigeria. And Nihi, you have a big event coming up. It seemed like yesterday you were putting this all together, but then I saw that it's next week, or is it next? No, the week after next. So it's like within 10 days or so. 2 parts. Thank you for your leadership. Like Ruby Golo, Nihi is one of those people. If you're doing business in Africa, you just need to know. Trusted, professional, well-connected. Nihi, would you like to say hi?
Definitely. Thank you. Thank you for your kind words, Doug, and always appreciate this platform, you know. Like some of the speakers have said, it's a very good place. So very, very highly valued, at least on this side of the world as well. Yes, we have a 2-day event on August the 6th and 7th, respectively. This will be a gathering of African lawyers, about 6 or 7 of us from the Southern African Development Community. It's going to be a learning experience and a bit of expose on what's going on in that area of the world of Africa. And for those of you who are looking at Africa, just as we are, the potential as somewhere to really focus on in the next year, few years and decades, please will be welcome to, it will be good to have you on in that discussion and just learn a few things. And maybe if you have follow-up questions, we can take them after the event and you can maybe connect with 1 or 2 people there. We'll be having people from lawyers, professionals from Botswana. I'm sure most of you probably haven't heard of a country called Lesotho. It's a very tiny country, but it's also a nation in Southern Africa. And we have Mozambique, South Africa, of course, and Zambia and Zimbabwe. As I said, it would be good to have you come and listen, and then we take up the discussion on Southern Africa and the rest of Africa thereafter. I'm a lawyer based in Nigeria, as Doug says, so I'm near Ruby. If you have anything else to do around the neighborhood, I'll be happy to take your inquiries or have a discussion. Thank you once again, Doug.
Thank you. And Gems, she's putting in the links in the chat area. Let's keep going around the room. And I see your hand, Nikhil, but I'd like to go to Sayali Mokate first. Sayali, I have a call that I need to make to you regarding some things at Global Chamber that have come up. Sayali is an expert, her company is an expert on the connections. We've been talking about connections, but the technology connections between apps and between technologies. Sayali, is there anyone that you'd like to meet? Anything you'd like to share?
Sure, thanks, Doug. So we provide companies with different custom software solutions. We have been working with various industries to make their processes streamline, different workflow automation. We provide CRM solutions, project management, timesheet management related solutions, invoicing, payment, reconciliation, and a lot of such technological work that businesses need day to day. We do have a couple of partnerships with Monday, Zoho, Odoo, etc. But our core technical capability is to deliver end-to-end custom solution from scratch to production to post-production 24/7 support or an annual maintenance contract. We help businesses with mobile web app developments, admin portals, back office, as well as the different cloud services, third-party integrations, and all. We also work with oil and gas companies on providing commodity trading and risk management. That is another tier of services that we provide. So any businesses looking for digital transformation, core technical capabilities, a reliable tech partner to work with, please feel free to get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to assist you. Thank you.
And I will be in touch. There's a need that's come up that I think you'll be a great fit for. Thank you very much.
Sure. Yeah.
Nikhil, you've raised your hand. How are you? Nikhil Sheth is here in the room. Who would you like to meet, and how can we help?
Thank you so much, Mr. Doug. Good to see you. Good to see all of you, and good to hear some of the excellent profiles which I just came to know about. I think the beauty is the two things which I immediately have for Peru from Mr. Tamir, which is why I had to raise my hand, and of course for you as well, Mr. Nii Sanusi. I am an international business advisor. I help companies get sales, which is not easy. I have a clutch of 5 to 7 companies across the world where I'm giving them consistent sales, no theory, just implementation. And the thing is, Mr. Nee, are you interested? I'll connect with you offline. I have one of the top 100 law firms of UK with offices in London, Birmingham, Leicester, and Surrey, with over 45 lawyers working across with a 18 plus year legacy. And I think there are certain areas of interest which Nigeria and UK could be working on, I mean, as law firms. But Mr. Tamir, there's interesting work for Peru. We are aggressively expanding for one of my $70 million clients. I'm exploring South America in a big way. I'm going to connect to you offline, and I'm going to seek your help to get hold of a sales agent hired in Peru to start with in South America. I have people in Colombia, and I think I'm going to connect with you for Peru. Let me drop you a mail. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll get you connected. Talmer, thank you. And thank you, Nikhil. I appreciate it. We do try to finish up on time, and there's only 5 minutes left, and I've mismanaged this, and there's 3 people left. So I apologize. We'll need to go fairly quickly. I had a non-member get very angry with me for cutting him off right at the top of the hour. He wanted to interject some stuff, and I'm sorry. First of all, being a non-member, that's one thing, but I do take your time very seriously. So Paul, Josie, and Dwight, if I could ask you to be fairly quick in each of your introductions, and we'll find a way to make it up for you. Dwight was in the room, the first one. And so Dwight, who would you like to meet, and how can we help? You're the speed round, 1 or 2 minutes, please.
Okay, well, Doc, if everyone can hear me, and that my background in this largely international trade finance, trade credit. That's my core experience in that with the multinational companies I've worked for. Essentially boiling that down to helping small and medium-sized companies navigate international trade risk, working their commercial terms and conditions to grow revenues while at the same time mitigate the risks that might go with that. I mean, you can't grow revenues if you're building your sales volume on cash in advance or cash prior to shipment. You need to go to work and bring creative trade financing tools into the game, whether it's short-term to medium-term financing programs to help mitigate those risks in that. So I've worked globally in over 70 plus countries. So I think, my background is there to work with people that are working on export trade finance primarily. And
Super.
So that's my background.
There's nobody better than Dwight on credit for exporting. He works internationally. He's a Thunderbird graduate. I've seen him work. He's amazing. So anybody that needs money to export.
Thanks, Doug.
He's
appreciate
amazing.
that.
Paul Martillo is an expert on economic development, and you have been working in Southern California, but you work beyond that. Paul, who can we introduce you to?
Doug, first of all, thank you so much to you and Cesar and the whole Global Chamber team for all that you do for all of us members. So, yes, I'm based in San Diego now, but I lived in Europe for 14 years. My specialty is international site selection. So I help companies choose optimal locations worldwide for different kinds of business facilities like manufacturing plants, R&D units, call centers, headquarters offices, and so on. And I help them also to procure financial and other incentives from the national, regional, state, or local governments to support their investments. I've specialized in foreign direct investment, U.S. companies going to other countries, foreign companies coming into the U.S. Again, international site selection. Whenever the question is where. Thank you.
Companies and regions that have interest in site selection, please contact Paul and Josie George. Thank you, Paul. Josie George is based in Canada, and you are a coach. Could you let us know what types of people you'd like to meet, please?
I'd like to meet people who are developing, who want to come develop their venture in North America, either Canada or United States. And I'm working on strengthening better the soft skills to finalize, to recreate the business plan. So have a Christian approach to that. So it's basically it's any kind of business. Obviously not too much a startup, but from anywhere of the globe, as long as they are developing in North America.
Great. So anybody coming into the U.S. and your approach tends toward the Christian side of things. And so I was actually thinking of getting you connected to somebody who's more from the Middle East coming into the U.S. That might not be a fit, but maybe some from coming in from Europe primarily will be of interest, some parts of Africa as well. So yeah, are you based in Montreal?
Yes, right now I'm in Montreal. I might move also. The possibilities are there, but right now I'm in Montreal.
Okay. Parlez-vous français?
Oui.
Okay. So French speaking particular. So thank you very much. I think, did we miss anyone? I think we might have gotten everybody. Cesar Trabanco interjected. I saw some notes. Cesar, what did we forget? And you're the master at connecting. What final comments do you have to wrap things up?
Hello, Doug. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
We can. Yep.
Okay, good. No, I just wanted to follow up on Basil's information and John's questions. So I'm really open to create an event or continue this conversation in another way, because ghosting is something that I've been dealing with for many years. So very interesting. No, I've been making some connections during the call. I've been taking some notes to follow up with all of you. So if you want to follow up on this or any other connection that you might find in the Global Chamber, feel free to reach out. We're happy to help and support. Next week is going to be busy. I know Jem has posted a couple of the events already. I'm particularly involved to one. There's going to be a special edition. It's going to be 10 p.m. Pacific, 1 a.m. Eastern Time, focused on Asia and the Middle East. So feel free to share with your network over there. This is, again, I think this is the first time we're doing it this time, trying to explore and helping a member based in Malaysia. So thanks again, everyone.
Oh, that's the EOS conversation.
That's the EOS conversation with the focus on that part of the world. That's first to help the member because he wants to target that region, but also I've been getting comments from members in that region that it's hard for them to join our event. So why not? Let's give it a try and have that late night event.
So thank you all for attending today on this Friday. Create acceptance. Create sincere interest. Basil, thank you for that advice. John Brown, being part of a community. We all want to be part of something and have a relationship. And also, we are stronger together. So thank you. The other good news is that most people who ghost us are not serial killers. And so on the grand spectrum of things, serial killing is really bad. ghosting, okay, it's not so great, but we can survive it, especially when we have people who are connected to us. We always have people that are long-term connected to us. So let's just build that. And the Global Tribe is a great place to do that. Have a great rest of your Friday, great weekend. Whenever you need help, just reach out. Thanks, everybody.
Okay, thanks, Doug. Thanks,
Thanks,
Sergio.
Doug.
Thanks, everyone.
Did you
Have a
say
great
most,
weekend.
Thanks so
Doug?
much.
I'm sorry, Tomer?
Thank you.
Did you say most?
Most what?
Most of the time.
Most people that ghost us are not serial killers.
That's right. Most of them.
Okay, most of them. So that's that's very encouraging.
Most of them
Most.
are not. So my wife is a criminologist, and so I get to watch a lot of programs on serial killing, and things like that. And those people are really bad. And so it helps me kind of put everything in perspective.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you said most, so yeah, probably we don't have many chances. So that's good. I thought you were going to say all of them. That would be better. But if you said most, I guess 95%, that's good.
So the other thing about that, and we're done with the program, I just wanted to say is one of the things also that's helped me with that is positive intelligence and that whole program and not being judgmental. And so being judgmental always made ghosters to me more problematic. And now that I'm not judgmental, we all are. I'm just less that way. And I figure a lot of times when people ghost, they're either overwhelmed or they could be, involved with family situation where they've got a big problem, or there's things going on that we don't understand. And in all of our lives, right? Stuff happens, and God bless us. Life can be really hard, and I try to be much more forgiving and not judgmental about it. There are jerks. There are jerks in the world, but we're not going to change them either. So
Good point, Doug. I'm focusing more on empathy, genuine empathy for people. Not the serial killers, obviously, but anything below serial killing on the spectrum.
Maybe you need to have empathy for becoming a serial killer. I don't know.
Probably not.
Too much. Thank you, guys.
We'll have to ask Doug's wife about that. She's the expert.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Cheers. Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.
Thank you.